Hi, this is Deborah. I want to focus my response on Joe Biden's apology after being accused of touching women inappropriately in his career. I think what is interesting about this apology is that it's timely and the image that it kind of projects. Joe Biden is looked at as a kind of a grandfatherly figure, and he's got a great reputation having served in the Obama administration. Great reputation for many. Many consider it a great reputation. So he came across in his apology, although he honestly admitted he touched these women, but he touched them in a grandfatherly way. And I think this comes at the end of the Me Too movement, where people are kind of scrutinizing allegations. Not that they're discounting them, but they're scrutinizing how people are judged by just someone saying, you did this to me 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Joe kind of made a joke out of it, a bit of a joke out of it, and said, this is something that he has done. He didn't mean any harm. He was just supporting or encouraging people. So people felt okay about his apology. And again, I think it's the timeliness of it, the fact that it's coming on the end of the Me Too movement where people are scrutinizing allegations more, and that Joe has the image of being a grandfatherly person. I think that has a lot to do with it. And those are two things that people who are making apologies or companies who are making apologies need to take into account. The timeliness of what they've said or what they've done that may impact people, and how that image is projected in the general view. It takes an image to leave people with a bad taste, and I think you have to replace that image. You can't totally discount it. Joe didn't discount it. He said, this is what I do because I'm a caring person, and I may touch your shoulder or I may give you a peck on the forehead, but it's out of my care and concern and empathy for your situation. So people could relate to that and accept to that. I think when companies make mistakes, they need to look at the time and the period. Like the Pepsi commercial was totally off point. I think that was a attempt to monopolize on a very empathetic situation in the community and make it monetize it. And it just didn't work. It was obvious to people, hey, they're using this commercial or this image in order to sell more Pepsi and prey upon our empathies. So in that case, it didn't work. I agree with Joe Keenan that people or companies should bring in other people. If they're going to run a commercial like that, you need to bring in other people to get their perspective. Oftentimes, those folks sitting around the table are similar. They come from similar backgrounds. They have similar perspectives. They have similar worldviews. So there's no one to challenge that. I think that's what happened in that situation and many other situations. You need to bring in people with diverse backgrounds, even if it's just as a consultant, to say, hey, take a look at this. What do you think about this? Focus groups. Maybe that's too much time and too much money, and we're so quick in this digital age to get an image out and push it out that we forget about the human side of it. So I think if companies took time to really be inclusive and diverse in how they project or how they review their materials, that would go a long way to helping it. And when they apologize, I think they need to replace whatever image they put out with a more positive image. Saying you're sorry is not going to be enough. It's not going to. If the goal is to get your consumers or your customers or whomever to feel better about your brand or what you've done, then you need to replace that image and make them feel assured and safe, and that it was unintentional, and it's something that you're not going to repeat. So that's my spin on it.